Hello, everyone. I made it back. Let me close out something first. And I hope you can find me. So, I hope you can find me. Okay. So I'm trying to go back and delete the other one. For some reason, it brought me up in the weirdest fashion. We had a terrible time getting on here today. So anyway, I think I'm here. Hopefully my hair is okay. We just pulled up in the driveway at 2:00. So I'm kind of okay. So anyway, I hope you did find me. Thank you, sweeties. Thank you, thank you. I am so sorry. Hello. Okay. Ready to hear my day? I didn't fall asleep till after 1:30, after being up and taking care of a baby all evening, and then had to get up at 3:00 to go to the bathroom. Then Mark wakes me up at 5:45. We're in the car at 6 a.m. and we've been driving. We drove until 2:00. I carried some stuff in. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. I carried some stuff in, ran up, took a shower, washed my hair, blow dried it, threw some curlers on. I think I'm here. I'll have to get toothpicks for my eyes. But anyway, we left Maryland at 6 a.m. and pulled up in here at 2 p.m. So I'm here. I think I'm here. Mark said, why didn't you cancel this today? I said, I can't not see my ladies. I mean, how do you do that? So hello. Yeah, you know I'm here. I want to show you the cutest necklace I found on eBay. Because, I've been doing this show now. I've been doing videos. It'll be 2 years in February. And so I've got enough shirts that if I switch them around, that's fine. And my top button wasn't even buttoned. No, who cares? But anyway, I looked around eBay and said, I need to find some new jewelry to spice things up. So see this? Let me pull it a little closer. I love the things I find on eBay. This was, I don't know, $4 and something. But isn't it wonderful? And, I order these from somewhere in Asia. And I don't know where my little thing is. But I just love this so cute necklace, and it was very inexpensive. So I love my eBay because, me, I'm cheap. I am cheap. But I said I needed some new bling. And since I have the safari looking type blouses, I thought that would be so cool. And I love elephants. Yes, I have to. They need jobs too. There's been a lot of discussion of, if you support buying things from like China, let's say, are you promoting the sweatshops? But then I watched a really neat thing, or maybe I heard it on NPR, and they were talking about starving villagers have been able to come into cities and get jobs at factories and get their own apartment. It takes them a few years to save, but they can get their own apartment and have a whole new way of life. So when I looked at it from that standpoint, I thought, I will support them. And, but I think it's really cool, and it goes with my safari print. But I am here, and you won't believe it. Oh, hi, Vicki. Hi. Oh, good. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Vicki, for doing that. In fact, I was trying to figure out how to turn off the other one, and I may have to delete it forever. Ooh. I hope y'all didn't say, if y'all said something important over there, would you tell me again? But That's true, Vicky. This stuff happens everywhere, you know. But anyway, so this is what I was so busy spending time with my grandson. I did not take a single picture. I did not take a single video. I'm counting on my son to send me all the ones he took. I just forgot I had my camera there, but I was so taken with him that I didn't take any pictures. And I gave him his books. He loved it. The one, his parents got a kick out of the one that I put the black hair on. His hair is a couple inches down past the base of his neck. I mean, he's just growing up so fast. Oh, how is Nadine? Oh my. So, but anyway, but he's amazing, and I'll tell you about him. But I'm going to have to depend on my son to send me the pictures and videos. I kept telling Mark, make sure that you remind me to take pictures. I keep forgetting. So I'll tell you from the start. I hope you won't get too bored. In fact, while I tell you, I'll work on something so that we can say, well, it's a little bit quilty today. Here is, let me get the dust off of it. Here is a Yazzie, I think they're called Yazzie carrier. Yep, Yazzie that I bought. Yep, Yazzie 2 that I bought at a retreat for $8. Can you believe it? Now, it's not the pretty, sexy colors of the new ones, but when I travel, I have a case like this, and I put all my important things in it, and then that way, it's small enough, but holds tons. But I can't believe I got this. In fact, I looked at it and didn't know what it was and kind of walked away, and someone came over, who saw me looking at it and said, do you realize what that is? And she already had one. But look at all this. You can carry so much. And I leave this packed and ready for travel. And so I just pick it up and go. And I always know I have a variety of threads, scissors, everything. So this $8, she said, Deb, they're very expensive. And I went over and I paid my $8. So thank you. In fact, I bought it from Jan, and thank you, dear Jan, for giving me this opportunity, because I wouldn't have paid the new price, even though it is so helpful. Mark is just pulling up out front with the pups, but I don't think I'll be able to say hi to them right now, and I know they'll be excited. He had to go get them from, our vet has a boarding kennel, thank goodness, so he went and got them there. But thank you for my advice on my teeth. It worked really well. So I took all kinds of stuff. I don't know why I think I'm going to ride in the car with Mark driving, and I'm going to have so much time to work on stuff. Well, what we ended up doing, we left here at 6 o'clock Thursday. Mark gets home around 5, and we left at 6. And we got up there at 1:30. And so I did a little, in fact, I was hemming the kitty quilt. You remember that I made that batik cat quilt? And yeah, he went to get our babies, because I said, I'm only going to have a chance to shower and get ready to get on. But so we got up there at 1:30 in the morning and unloaded. And then it took me until 4 a.m. to relax enough to fall asleep. At this point, I hadn't seen the baby. He just gave me thumbs up in the window that the dogs are okay, because he knows I worry. I mean, I almost cried leaving them at the border kennel. So, no, he wasn't. So anyway, I was up till 4 a.m. So I got up at 10. Oh, Gromit already found me at the window. Hi, Grommy. So He put him in the backyard, and Grammy goes right to my sewing window, like, I know where you are, Mama. You should have heard when he came in the house. I haven't even been able to say hello to him. Both birds, the cockatiel and kiwi, just started screeching to beat the band. Oh, thank God, they said, you came home. We thought you had left us. We thought we'd die here alone. So anyway, I'd ask Mark if he'd let at least Gromit down, but we'll see. We'll see what he does. But anyway, I got up to go tinkle. Well, then my son says, come here, look at this. And Nikki, his wife, was laying asleep with the baby asleep on her chest. And it was so sweet. He was taking some pictures of them. So then, hi, Marcia. It is so good to see you. And I'm going to be really a good girl and not go, Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. See, wasn't I good I didn't do that? But anyway, make a long story short, that was all the sleep I got, because then the baby woke up a few minutes later, and I had to make myself go brush my teeth and wash my face, because all I wanted to do was see that baby. So they put him on the floor, and because I was a little nervous about meeting him, because I was worried that he had never met somebody as pale and white as I am. And so his mom and his mom's family are all Filipino descent. And so I was a little worried. I thought, this hair is kind of light and my skin's really pale, and would I frighten him? But luckily, my ace in the hole is usually, I've got such a big head, I look like a big baby. So I just kind of, in fact, they picked him up and put him right in my lap, and I was like, oh, is that going to frighten him? And he looked at me, and he was fascinated with Mark, staring at Mark, and looking at Mark. And so I got really tickled. And then when I got the first smile out of him, I was so happy. So I had wrapped his little cloth books and taught him how to unwrap. Boy, he caught on to that fast. And then gave my son and his wife the 2-cat batik quilt, which I'll show you in a moment. I got a picture of it, because I always forget. I give them as gifts before I take a picture. I always forget. So anyway, we had a busy day. And then my son and his wife had to perform. They're in a band that performs. They teach also, but they perform in the evenings. So we had him from like 2-something that afternoon until they got home at 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. Ladies, let me ask you a question. Dealing with babies wear you out? I couldn't wait to see him. But the reality of keeping up with an active baby and changing him and feeding him and making his bottles and giving him to them and trying for 2 hours to get him to sleep. Oh my gosh. I wasn't even good with my own babies. I was always like, I like them once they're 6 years old. Can somebody take care of them? And when they're 6, give them back. But I had so little sleep. And it was hot in their house, and I can't stand to be hot. And there was one point where the baby was crying, and I'm trying to soothe him, and I told Mark, why did I think I could do this? I don't know what I'm doing. Exactly. You need the babies when you're young, because at 63, I'm sitting there going, I can't do this. This is exhausting. And he's lovely and he's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But it's been 30 years since I took care of a baby. And oh my gosh, my daughter's babies would only let her hold them. They didn't want anything to do with anybody, not even me. So I'm not used to taking care of little ones. I was worn out. But I started to get all emotional and half cry, and I don't know what I was doing. I can't do this. And Mark's like, hon, Come on, you can do this. And I thought all this time I have been dreaming of being with this baby, and now he scares me. It's like, what in the world? He's a baby. What do I do? So, and I even did home daycare. Come on, Deb. But I found that last night, oh, Vicki, that's sweet. Last night, when it came time, when his fussy time and trying to get him ready for bed, I was much calmer. Sleep is an amazing thing. So anyway, but you know, it was funny. They said, remember when you came up when he was born and you stayed up all night with him so we could sleep? They said, we can't believe you did that. I said, I'll do it for your next one too. I can do that because newborns usually, they're sound asleep. So I can do that. I think I'll have his other grandmother, though, babysit Russell, so I can just take care of the newborn next time. So we don't know when the next time will be, so we're not worried about that now. We'll get through one at a time. But anyway, so that is so sweet, Vicki. I can't do babies. I tell you the truth. My older grandchildren, I have a blast with them. But well, let me tell you this. Hi, Mary Zaire. Hello. Hello, everyone that's here. This baby is just turned 7 months old, and he's 20 pounds. Oh, my God, he's so big. He is in 18 months clothing. The 12-month clothing is too small for him. At 7 months. So that's hard. That's like carrying around your travel sewing machine all day. I mean, that was a lot. So, yeah. And so anyway, but that night we finally got him asleep and finally rocked him. And he's such a good baby, but he doesn't want to miss anything. In fact, I told my son last night, I said, he's going to be walking by 9 months because he's already standing up. All he wants to do is stand up. And he's trying to figure out how to move side to side when he stands up, holding onto the couch. And I mean, stands up all the time. He loves being on the couch. Oh, you got to go? Who's got to go? Bye. Oh, have a good time, Bonnie. Have a good time with your friends. So anyway, you put him up on the couch and he's standing up on the back and trying to move around. So I said, be ready. And he's not going to just walk. He's going to run. That child, it's all about the physicality with him. He's amazing. I said, he doesn't act like a 7-month-old. He acts like a 12-month-old. So they are going to have their hands full. And I want to give a shout out to her parents, Veron and Michael. They are amazing. They do the daycare. Anytime my son has something come up and he calls her, she says, yes, bring that baby over. I mean, what a gift. What a gift. And she said, well, it takes a village to raise a baby. And I thought, boy, are they lucky. I didn't have a village. I didn't have anything to help me. So it's so nice that they've got that. And I said, that baby, yes, they're lucky they've got them, but that baby is lucky. He's got so much love. So took care of him, got him to sleep, and then I went downstairs and got to sleep, got up the next morning, and this time I took a slower morning in because I said, I've got to be ready to take care of this baby because they had another gig or performance last night. And this one was going to be at a moose lodge, so we thought, we'll go and see this. So we took the baby up, and they have to leave so early in the afternoon when they do a performance. So it was a long night for them. They left, like sometimes they have to leave at 2:30 in the afternoon to go set up. Sometimes they have to leave at 4 in the afternoon or 3:30, and to go set up for a 6 or 7 p.m. show or 9 p.m. And then they usually play till 11 or 12. And then by the time they come home, get everything packed up. Chris, my son was telling me the time for them is in setting up the equipment and taking it down. The fun for them is performing. The real work is setting it up and taking it down. And it's a lot. Lights, I mean, they do a good show. So, but I took him, and I will have some pictures of me dancing with him on the dance thing, and his parents got so excited, and grandparents are performers also, so they got to see him. But I tell you what, I thanked my son's mother-in-law for all she does, and her husband Mike. They are so good with that baby. And I told my son, it is so nice that he's with family for daycare, because nobody loves them like their family. So he's an amazing boy, very busy, determined boy. He wants to do everything now, and he watches everything you do. I took on a table. He kept wanting to get on this table, and he's not supposed to because he could bump his head. And so I took and I tapped about 4 or 5 times. Next thing I know, he's tapping 4 or 5 times. So he's a monkey see, monkey do, amazing little boy. So they're going to have their hands full. And I loved him. And you know what? He has so many aunties and such a big extended family that he just trusts everyone. And he let Mark and I take care of him. He didn't even flinch. He was like, once we made friends with him and got him smiling, and we taught him how to clap. That was a new thing for him. And we taught him how to whistle. And Mark would get right up so he could feel that Mark was blowing out air, and he was fascinated with that. The closest he got to it was a Zerbert, but he was like, ooh, I want to know what that is. So he's just absorbing everything. So Pat is Busy Pat is here. Your grandson's 8 weeks old? Oh, he hasn't been born yet, has he? Oh my gosh, is that time passed already? Oh, they have a band. You can look them up. They're called Oracle, Oracle, and they're in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. And they're very popular, kind of a dance band, and music from the 60s to the present time. Yep, that's exactly how you spell it, Susan. You're so smart, Susan. So, but if you look him up, you'll see him. And my son's the drummer. He's got like longish reddish brown hair, and wonderful band. Oh, some of the songs. So last night, my son was singing. Mark and I got up, and we had the stroller on the dance floor, and we danced with Russell right there sitting in his stroller. We kind of danced around him, and it was so much fun. And they loved him being there, because that way their little baby got to see what they do. And he was fascinated. He was staring up on that stage like, what's Mama and Daddy and what's Grandpa and Grammy doing up there? He was fascinated. And they had that's it. And they had special headphones on. And but they're really great. Mike works for a big Washington agency, and Veron manages a veterinary hospital. And then my son and my daughter-in-law teach, and then they do the performing in the evening. So it's kind of nice. It's really nice. And they have a whole following. People just follow them from one venue to the next. It is absolutely cute. So when we brought the baby in, all their followers had to come see that baby. One of the older women said, "Who are you?" And I thought, yeah, I guess I don't look like the whole crowd. I said, "I'm his other grandmother. The drummer, that's my son." Who are you? But anyway, yes, Mike was in the Navy for a good number of years, but before that, he was a performer in the Philippines. And he does some, that Pretty Woman song. He does some of these songs, and you can just imagine him on the stage, and people knew who he was. And but I'm awfully glad they had their Nikki, and they moved here stateside. They were stationed everywhere. She was born in Hawaii, And I thought, oh man, how do you handle life when you're born in Hawaii? I mean, that would seem to be, you're born in paradise. Is the rest a disappointment? Anyway, what is this? I'm the Deb. Yes, don't you know I'm a Deb. I'm the Deb. So, but they announced. In fact, when Russell and I danced, he and I danced a slow dance, and they said we want to thank the youngest member of the dance floor, 7-month-old Russell. So it was absolutely precious, and his parents were so excited to see him out there. But it was a lot of fun. And then this morning, so they got in last night, 12:30, and it takes them a couple hours. They have to get something to eat, takes a couple hours to unwind, get everything unpacked. And that was an early evening. Night before, it was 2:30. But they said, we're going to wake up when y'all leave. And I said, no, you don't. I said, y'all have put on performances beyond your regular jobs for the last 2 nights. I said, you're sleeping until that baby demands you get up. I said, don't you get up with us, because we try to be self-sufficient. We take care of ourselves. So it worked. So what's going on for y'all? Oh, yeah, I want to peek. I wonder, let me see. Open link in new tab. I haven't been to their site in a while, but they're so talented. Yes, that's them. And see my son on the drums back there with that scarf. And then if you're on the Oracle site on that picture, I'll tell you who they are. My daughter-in-law is to the left singing. That's Nikki. And, you see my son in the middle. My daughter-in-law is the woman on the left. Then the woman on the right is her mother, beautiful woman. And then Mike, the other grandfather, is the guitar player on the far right. And I think Brian is the name of the bass player. And then Steve does the lights and stuff. But my son is the drummer back there. So they're very, very talented. Very, very talented. So, and you can see the 2 venues they did, Friday and then one on Saturday. And it was a lot of fun. So, there's a picture of my son in a black shirt at the drums. So Nikki's playing the violin. She is an amazing violinist. And then her mama and her daddy. So really, really nice group. If you live up that way, you get to see them. Oh, you'll love it. They are so good. So, all right, had busy days. I have no pictures to show you, I think. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I think, no, I looked, I didn't see, but I do have the picture of the cat quilt. And so as I get the other pictures, I'll find a way to show you, or I'll show you next week. But I apologize. I told you I was going to have bunches of pictures. I do have some pictures they sent me from earlier in the week. So on the way up there, pardon me while I clean my glasses on my shirt. On the way up there, I worked on the batik wall hanging, 2-cat batik wall hanging. Got the last little bit of the binding done, and then I had to cut threads. But it gets dark so early that I could only work about an hour, and then it was dark. So I took this bag filled to the brim with projects to work on. Girls, Mark looked at that basket and he laughed. He laughed. Does Vicky have to go? Bye, sweetie. Mwah. Oh, got a football game tonight. All right. Good job. Enjoy it, honey. So Mark saw that bag I packed to take with me and he laughed. Yeah, he did. He said, you're not going to get all that stuff done. Well, a girl can dream. She can hope. But I knew that when I got there, I didn't want to do anything but take care of the baby. And I mean, I even got on the floor for hours at a time with that baby. So I thought that was pretty good. So anyway, But what I'm trying to work on now, I just thought I would show you, is I'm making bunches of pincushions because I've got my retreat coming up. Okay, you're a sweetheart. Who is that won't show? Oh, Kathleen, no, no, no. We love your stuff. Kathleen, remember this, and I speak this truth. It is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Everyone has their gift. You might concentrate on, wow, well, look what she did in that photo. I can't compete with that. But guess what? There is something that you do in your work that's better than anybody else's. So we just look at each other's gifts. We don't concentrate on any boo-boos. So anyway, so I do have a few pictures to show you in a few minutes, but I wanted to show you what I've been working on. I think y'all remember in the past that I make these cute little owls, these little cute little owl pin cushions. And so I'm making up a bunch of these for the retreat that I'm hosting soon. And then let me drop this curtain. I got a lot of sun coming in here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Woo! Too much sunshine. Okay. So I've got several different kinds of pin cushions. I have the little ring finger pin cushions that I'm making. And in fact, I made 2 of these. And they're on a beautiful wooden button, and then the elastic, and they're ring pin cushions. Really nice. So I'm working on those. And so I've made ruffle material to put under them. And then I cut out a bunch of circles and did basting stitches so I can draw them up. And when I draw them up, I put in so that I'm holding the little drawn up circle. I'll show you. Hold on. So I take this circle, and it's about, I don't know, 3.5 inches across, 3.5 to 4, not too big. And I take and base these circles on the machine. And then I take and draw up the threads. I pull from each end and draw them up. Okay? And if you just wait till I get my Etsy store going, you can buy one of these puppies for less than $3. So I draw up the circle. Then into that circle, if you have no allergies, I take some ground walnut shells and I pour about a teaspoon of ground walnut shells. Let me see. See them? And what this does is sharpens your pins and needles that you put in it. Then after that, I take my polyfill and I put a bunch of that. You'd be surprised how much polyfill you need. But if you want to get a really nice, firm, beautiful pin cushion, something that really holds pins well. People underfill them, they don't really hold on to the pins. So I take and push that in. I feel like I'm doing a magic trick, pushing it in, and then I take those threads and pull them gently tighter because you don't want, if you tear them, you got to start all over again. So you just ease in, but see how that stuffing wants to keep coming out. But trust me, you need that to have a really nice top. But I'll keep pulling it together until it's nice and taut. And then, I've got ruffles. Hold on. I've got blue ruffles to match this. because I want it to look like a little flower bloom. So I already pulled it into a ruffle form and put that underneath the round thing so it looks like a little flower bud. And then I take my where are my wooden buttons? Here they are. Okay, I'm gonna lay this down. I don't want the walnut shells to spill out. But I ordered these beautiful wooden buttons, probably from China. And because people used to use bottle caps, but I wanted something a little classier, a little more dignified. So I ordered these buttons. And so by using these buttons, you can put your elastic through the button. And see, the part that dips in is where you put the little flower bud. Then I come up the other slot. When I saw these slotted buttons, I said, that's perfect. And I think they're pretty. I like the way they look. I mean, they're nicely finished. And so then once I brought it through, then I put my finger through. Oh, I love the stone soup story. Oh my gosh. I love that. And it just means the more the merrier. And when we work together, we can do anything. So I put it on my finger, and if it feels like that's good, because I have big hands, you don't want it too tight. You don't want it cutting off circulation. Then I stitch this, either zigzag or by hand. Stitch, stitch, and stitch, and stitch, so it won't pull loose. And then that part that you've stitched will stay inside this cup. Like pretend it's already sewn. It stays in that cup. And then you take your glue and you glue the ruffle into the cup. And the last thing is this will already be all tightly closed. And it's tough to get it really pulled tight. And then I sew across it so it can't open up. And then, so pretend this is already closed. Then that gets glued on the top of that. And then you have one of these pretty things. And it just looks nice. And I tell you what, when I sit and sew at night, I love these. I love these because it's on your finger and you won't lose it. But let me see if I can move the camera back a little bit more. So I don't want you to miss what I'm doing. But anyway, I love these. And they're fun to make. And I'll have them for the retreat and then to put on my Etsy. So now, I already showed you my cute little owls. And I love my little owls. They are just precious. So what I do, I think I have a pattern here somewhere, but oh wow, it's hard to find everything just getting back, but I have here it is. I have a pattern that I've made out of cardboard. You cut 3 of these for each owl. What I like to do is cut 2 of one kind of fabric and 1 of another. And okay, here is a floral for its tummy and then a polka dot for its back. And let me see. Here I have stripes for the back and a floral for its tummy, floral for the back, and a geometric print for its tummy. Let me see what else. Oh, this is cute. This has an Old English floral for the tummy and stripes for the back. And here is another polka dot for the back with an English floral for the tummy. So anyway, so what I do is I cut out 3 of these, okay? Maybe you can call them like a church window, that shape. Then I cut the pieces out and then I stitch them together. 1, 2, 3 together. Then turn them right side out. And when you stitch this point, make sure it's really strong. So now in this, are y'all getting too bored? I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't been here before. Please understand, I just got back in town an hour before we started, and I was in Maryland, and we drove 7 hours. So I'm a little tired and a little discombobbled, and I don't quite have a show fully planned out for you today here, but I am here, and I got to see my grandchild. So that's all that matters. All right. I'm looking. Oh, I know where my pen cushion is. It's in my handy dandy carry-all. All right. Hold on 1 second. Oh, and here's my favorite of the finger pen cushions. I've decided I'm keeping this one for myself. I just love the way the blossom ended up. And yes, if you have any photos of things you're working on, send them to my email. Susan, I'm sure, has given, it's not blue, but this is just it's like a ballet slipper pink. And, I can be talked into pink, But anyway, if you, what was I saying now? Cabbage Rose. Thank you. Diana Wright, what would I do without you, girlfriend? I love it. I have missed you all for days, but I just think that's so elegant. It kind of makes me feel a little more feminine, and that's not what I'm known for. So it's kind of nice. But anyway, let me get a needle with thread because I want to show you how to do this in case you've ever thought about doing something like this. Okay? All right. But like I said, I will have them on Etsy before Christmas. And I try to keep them inexpensive so people can get stuff for their sewing friends without spending too much. So, all right, you're very welcome, sweetie. All right, so you've sewn with the sewing machine. I've sewn these 3 pieces together. You can see the seams in there, and you know how you trim so they're not too bulky. Well, before I start stuffing this, there's a couple things I need to do. With this one, 2 sides are floral, 1 side is a stripe. So I take, the stripe is the tummy. So I take and fold down his little head like this, okay? I'll show you again. I have my fingers inside, and then I take and fold it down about 3/4 of an inch. I fold down that. That's going to form the beginning of a beak and his little face. So now I'm going to take this and stitch it down. And I come from the inside so I can hide the knot. I'm trying to get the point out really good because that's important to give him a good little beak. Okay. So I come down in here like this, and I put my needle through all the layers. And I have a nice big knot on it because this is decorator fabric and it's a wide weave. And so all I do now is just take a couple knots. Okay. Come on. All right. So you see this? All right. Then I'm going to knot it just 1/8 of an inch or close to the fabric so that then, okay, so I put a knot there. I'm going to go through into the inside, pull it until it snaps, and that buries the knot inside. Now, you don't have to worry about burying it perfectly because you're going to put a little orange beak on him. All right. So I trimmed it. Now what I'm going to do, put another big knot And this time, just like last time, I'm leaving it a double thread. Okay, I want it nice and strong because when you gather up, especially on these decorator fabrics, I love making them out of the decorator fabrics because see how sturdy it is? All right, I'm going to start over here. I try not to have my needle and thread go through any seam allowances because it's easier to draw it up. And I'm just going to take big basting stitches a little less than 1/4 inch from the edge. So let me pull the camera down here and show you. Okay, so I just take nice big, not too big, but basting stitches within the 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm using black thread. Normally I would use off-white or light gray. Now here I'm coming up to that. So instead of going through it, I'm just going to come out through the front and go through here. I'm ignoring that seam allowance because it's too hard to draw the fabric up through. And you think, well, you didn't have a very long thread, but you're going to draw this up. So you'll be fine. All right. So I'm coming around. I finish going across the tummy last. Okay. So I come up to this seam allowance right here. I'm going to skip over it and see how I needed a little more thread. So I started tightening that up. And here I just go, you have to stay back a little bit because see how that wants to unravel? And so you're taking your nice big stitches. And here we go through here, nice big stitches, staying away from the edge. All right, and I finish up with one last stitch right near this knot. I'm going to pull the needle out, and I need every bit of this thread, so I'm going to cut the thread right at the base of the needle. Okay, and pull it a little tighter. Now, I want to use, you have to know whether, if anyone has a nut allergy, do not use the walnut shells. But if you don't have a nut allergy, this time I'm going to put at least almost 2 tablespoons full in there. Okay, see that? Then I'm going to come in and what are you wanting to know? What can I still get? Because if I can get something for you, I will. And you push it in nice and firm. Again, it takes more to stuff these things than you think because I want them nice and firm and to have a little heft in them. And you might even want to finish this off with a few grains of inexpensive rice to give it some weight. Okay, and you just keep stuffing this in and stuffing it in. And as you stuff it, keep gently tightening it because that'll help you keep the stuffing from wanting to pop back out. So there you go. Keep stuffing it and pull it gently. And stuff it some more. You want to stuff it until you really think you can't stuff it much anymore. But this gives you a nice weight, a nice look. By the time, see, if I were to stop now, you see all these deep creases? Nah, I want him to be nice and plump like this one. Nice and chubby to the very bottom. All right, and let me, real quick, I need to thread my needle. So let me do that again. What did I do with my needle? I set it somewhere. I put it on the pin cushion. Good job, Deb. I'm never sure what I do with these things. All right, so let me get it. I'm going to get a thread that matches this time. And this will all be covered. But you know me. I want it to be best I can make it if I can. When I'm selling something, that's all different than when I make it just for myself. So let me put what? So going to my son's house, I said, do you have any sewing that needs done? He had one pair of shorts that had a seam that popped open. And so I sewed that, and then 3 couch cushions. He said we put them through the wash and they kind of came open. So I did the sewing, but I always like when I come up there, what do you need sewn? Because, that's something, if you're not a regular seamstress, that's not something you normally like to do. And they stay so busy. All right, so now I've got my knotted thread ready. Now I'm going to put the last bit of stuffing. So I always buy a bigger bag of stuffing than you think you could possibly use, because you'd be shocked. You would be shocked. Okay, so let's see how this is looking. So I'll pull it pretty tight. I think I can put just a little bit more. His butt's a little too skinny right there. So let me grab some more and put this in. Let me try this now. I think this is looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to try to do, everything is nice and plump looking. What I'm going to try to do, and I'm not always good at, is put in a few knots here to hold it closed so it makes it easier for me to sew it shut for good. So hold on. Let's see. So often it pops back open, drives me nuts. But so if you've got somebody who's willing to help you with this part, grab them. So anyway, I've put a couple. Let me put one more knot. I'll do 3 knots. And when I do a knot, it's just make a loop, come up under, and then carefully push that knot so it's going to go right down to the base of that thread. Okay? So there we go. Now it's a knot right at the base. So I cut this off. Now I take my needle and thread, and this is not going to show, and I come in 1/4 of an inch from the edges because you don't want to shred the edges, and you just sew across. Okay, pull it tight. The main thing here is to be snug, to really get it closed good, because you don't want a pincushion popping open and all of that, the walnut shells. Now, also, if you want walnut shells, buy them from a pet store. These are expensive if you buy them from a quilt shop. If you can afford it, that's great. But I bought a big bag, about 5 pounds of walnut shells, and they'll last you so long. And I just keep using these every time I make new ones. But you can get them for just a few dollars for pounds and pounds, or you could get a small bag for $6 or $7 that would only do a couple of these. So you know me, I'm on a budget. I'm on a fixed income, and that's important. So what I do is I just keep going back and forth across this until it is drawn up tight, and I know it will stay put. Now, I don't want it pointy. I want it to be flat because I've got a base that's going to go on it. So allow me to get ready and show you that. All right. Put my pen back on the pin cushion. All right. So pull this up tight too. And sometimes when I do this loop and then run it through a second and even a third time. What happens when you do that, when you run it through like 3 times, it kind of holds the knot when you tighten it. Now that time I pulled so tight it popped out, it broke off. But see, when I looped it 2 or 3 times, then it really holds. There's tension on it. The thread holds instead of popping back open. Now what I have now is I cut out from recycled cardboard that I saved, these graham crackers or whatever, and I cut these circles out. Then I take and cut a circle of fabric out and glue them to the cardboard and let them dry, and they become very stiff. Now you can either use hot glue or you can use tacky glue. And let me get this, and be pretty generous because the fabric will absorb some of this. And it might be easier just to I probably should have just put the glue on here. And that way I know the whole edge is covered. But this way it protects the bottom and kind of covers it to look nice. All right, I'm going to put it on this way. And just kind of squeeze it on. So now he's got a little base. Now, if you wanted to, you could have little toes sticking out, but that's really cute, but I don't have that much time. I've got to make as many of these as I can. So now I'm going to hold this while the glue is setting, but I can still do something. I've taken my batting scraps and I've cut these shapes. See what it is? It would be a circle if you had 4 of them. This is going to be his cute little face hair. Whoops, these scissors aren't that sharp. Let me find my other scissors. Oh, these will do it. And I'm having to hold this because if I let go, see how it pulls away? So I'm having to hold this while the glue is setting. If I didn't want to hold it, I could tie a string to it to hold it. I could put painter's tape around it to hold it until it sets. So what I'm going to do is these eyebrows were a little big for him. So I'm trimming them down. And then I'm going to come in here and cut them like this so that they're fluffy and they give him personality. Okay, now cut these slits about every an 1/8 of an inch or less than a 1/4 of an inch. Go all the way around. Do the entire curved edge, but don't do the straight edge. Okay, so now I have this, and you can kind of ruffle it up a little. This I'm going to tuck in to tuck it right under where we've made this little face. But before I stick it in, I'm going to put my glue bottle under here and squirt some glue. Then I'm going to come in and tuck this in there. And push it up until, let me see, where's my other one I've already done? Okay. So this one I kind of laid flat, but now I want to tuck it under and have it get a little flare going. But there it goes. All right. Then I'm going to, Then I'm going to get another one of these and trim it again to be a little smaller. Do real quick cutting. These are quick, fun gifts to give people. And I'm sure you have someone, another quilter. I mean, I love collecting pincushions. I can't have enough because they're so cute. And my extra ones, I just tuck up on a shelf. So let me do something real quick. Pardon me, just a second. I needed to grab something. All right. Now I will tuck this one in this side. Yes, if you have owls that you make, oh, we'd love to see them. So I'm going to get this, hurry up and get this finished, and then we'll go see our photos. Okay, guys? So I've tucked this one in. Forgot to glue it. Let me go in here and squish in some glue. All right. So now we've got this. So, and you know, I can always trim them more if I want. If I think they're too much, like these edges here swing out a little bit much. So I'll just go in and give him a little haircut right there. Okay. Now I'm going to take a drop of glue and put one here, one here. Then I've got a container with some really cute buttons that I think would match him pretty well. So I get two same buttons and I put them right here. I put this one here. But the glue will come up in between the holes, but I'm going to add a little touch more on top of that. Okay. Then I have some googly eyes because I like you can just put you could just do a regular button and that would be fine. But you know, Deb and her bling, the more the merrier. So now, oops, I'm going to take this googly eye and I'm going to put it right there. And this googly eye and put it right there. And then you can either use floss or a piece of felt. But I have this trim was given to me, and I don't know what this kind of trim is, a braid or what, but it was given to me because someone didn't want it. They had some supplies, and I said, oh, this would be perfect as a little beak. So I'm going to put some glue, and I'm going to put the glue right over where I sewed it down. And then I'm going to take and put his little bill in here. And I can even put another layer on there if I want to give him even more of a bill. But then when I'm all done, pinch his head to make sure that this does look like a head sticking up. I'll move this back now. He's quite pliable, but once the glue dries, because until the glue dries, I can't do but so much, but I like to pinch the top of his head so it comes up like this, and then he's got his fluffy eyebrows. And there is my little owl. So, and here's one I had done before. I hadn't put this one's beak on yet. And you can do it either with this little braid or you can just do stitches with a golden floss. So there's my little owls. So there. And isn't that cute? You can sit in the evenings and work on these. And when I try to keep a bunch of these made, and if I take a class, I will take one in to the teacher. So to me, that's a lot of fun. And I have even more I'll show you another day. I have ladybug pin cushions that clip on. They are a lot of fun. So real easy. And I even will show you another time. I might have already shown a lot of this, but I'm going to make a few more of these birdies in the nest because I really like that. So anyway, but we are at our retreat. Anybody that makes things and wants to sell them is allowed to bring them because when the ladies come to retreat, they like to find little things to buy. So, and I'm going to make some necklaces. I'm going to make some scissor fobs out of my beads. So, all right. Well, let me quickly put this away, see what you're talking about, and then get ready to show you our photos, okay? So, Diana Wright sent some in. I'm trying to think of who else did. And I have my Batik cat quilt that finally got it finished, took it up, gave it to my son, and then said, I forgot to take a picture of it. Do any of you have portfolios of your quilt work and your handiwork that you've done? Do any of y'all, have y'all actually made any, whether it's a binder of photos or I have been meaning to the whole 30 years I've been a quilter. Do you think I've ever done it? No. Nope. So I'm going to get better at that because you know what? I've given away more quilts than I've kept. I bet almost. And I gave them away without taking photos first. All righty. So now let me turn off the lights and I'll be right back to show you the photos. Okay? You have photos, but not a portfolio. You want to make a ladybug? I will show you that next week. I promise. All right. Let me turn out this light. I'll be right back, guys. Just hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. So anyway, that's what I was working on coming home. All right. Since I got so little sleep, the first thing I did was slept in the car while Mark drove. But I made sure he went down early last night to get some sleep because I knew one of us had to be awake to drive home. And he did a great job. Okay. Here we go. I know. I haven't even said hello to him. It's like, sorry, I care more about my ladies than y'all. No, I'm just teasing. But I figured I can go love them the rest of the night. But I only had a little bit of time with you guys. All right. So let me bring up my photos. Oh, let me see. Nope. Okay, let's see. All right. I was hoping I might have some new things in. Come on, pictures. All right. Here we go. Let's look at Miss Diana Wright. She has made another outfit. I am so excited to see this. I started out as a seamstress making clothes, but hold on. I started out as a seamstress and even worked, at a museum. And so I did that and I was self-taught at that. So I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes, but come on. My computer is going to act up. It's coming. Bear with me, peoples. Yay. Oh, look at this. I saved them without getting, oops. Oh, look at the ladybugs. That is so cute. Look at that. Oh, that is precious. Look at that. Oops. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. You are really enjoying this, Miss Diana Wright. That is just precious. All right. Let's see. I can't wait to see the next one. Oh, look at the level of finish on this outfit. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Good job. Oh, everything is finished beautifully. Lined, look at that. I love a big lined, let me see, yoke, a lined yoke. Thank you. I forgot the word. Okay, now Come on, let me see. Come on, I know there are more. I might not have fully, I didn't bring it all the way down. Okay, next photo. Diane, thank you for showing us the zoom in so that we can see how you finish things. Ah, she's got a wonderful serger. Doesn't that make nice work of a ruffled edge? If you took and hemmed that ruffled edge, you'd lose a lot of the ruffle. So excellent job serging that. Good serger work. Good, good, good. I hate to admit that I hate threading a serger, so I gave my serger away. Okay, here we are. Look at the yoke of this dress. Isn't it? I love that she has black and red polka dot or black polka dot on a red background that goes perfectly with the ladybugs. But look at this top stitching. It makes it look like piping. It's beautiful. Or is that? Could be piping. I might not know. But that is gorgeous. Look at these big ruffled sleeves with a nice contrasting cuff. Diana, excellent, excellent work on. That is absolutely beautiful. That is, I say that is couture, children's clothing, which just a fancy word that means custom, top of the line work. Way to go, Miss Diana. Okay. Now, remember I showed you last week the beginning parts of my daughter's new sheet pen. Here it is. Well, let me see if I can zip to that was one of them. Here it is, the sheep shelter finished. And it's got metal siding on the outside, metal roof, standing seam metal roof. And so that should hold up beautifully. I think, let me see, go back. Do you see what she has done with this? If she were to leave it with just the framework and the exterior metal siding, the sheep would push up against the metal siding and bend it out, making it look really sloppy. So what they did is they came in with some good exterior grade plywood and put it at the height where the sheep would push. So that way they can stop them from doing that. And I just think it's a very professional looking job. And this should probably last 20, 30 years. So I'm really proud of them. And now here are her sheep that are inside the run. So does anybody know why the sheep has a blue dot on its rump? Anybody know? That's today's question to see who you know. Remember I said she'll probably put hay racks in there. Well, she's got some hay bags in there. And this way they can stay out of the rain, out of the snow. And as you can see, they love it. They love it. Because she has a little barn she was putting them into, but then they can't get enough fresh air. And sheep stay healthier when they have some shelter, but they're not fully enclosed in a barn. So there they are. So anybody know? This one looks like it's got, and what this is, it's chalk. So, okay. Let me pull this away. And I think that is it for Katie's enclosure. And thank you, Katie, for sending us photos. Because that way people can understand more, what you're actually doing. And I think I showed that last week. And okay, so what I wanted to, I'll show you one last thing before, well, two things. But the next Pineapple Fabric sale, December 5th, 6th, and 7th. And even if you don't live in North Carolina close enough to attend this sale, check their website that same week because they will bring the sale to you. So, and there won't be, and there's no flat folds or fabric by the pound this time. But the sale the first week in December, then the next sale after that is not until March. So, but if you have signed up for their newsletter. Go to pineapplefabrics.com, sign up for their free newsletter. They send out great sales, and sometimes they're almost unbelievable. So I just wanted to show you that. And then a picture of the completed batik cat's quilt wall hanging that I made for my son and his wife. And let me see, you see the quilting. I've done outlining to make the cat stand out more. I went back in where some of the colors were a little pale, filled it in, and then at the bottom, I did some thread painting of a little yellowed flower and clumps of grass. And I think they like it. They love the colors in it, and they are cat lovers. So if you love a cat, that face just gets you, doesn't it? So anyway, it's all bound, threads cut off the back. It is completed, and it is signed right there. All right. So I think that's it for the pictures today. Let me go turn the lights back on before we say goodbye. Hold on. All right. Thank you, ladies, for waiting for me, being here. I do not know why the room wouldn't let me in. At first, it didn't recognize me, and then it was, you need to set up this whole elaborate thing. And it's like, no, just let me in like normal. So I'm sorry we had to start another one. I hate when that happens. But let me close my photos out so I can see what you're saying. Now is a great time to ask any questions. Are you having concerns or problems with the project you're working on? What can I do to help you? Oh, I love that. I love that. Aristocrats, because they do have this air, you know. Mark said they look a little Parisian or something, but Diana Wright's got a wicked sense of humor. Isn't she something? So they put chalk on there now, so they need bread. Oh, I don't think you mean bread like peanut butter and jelly bread. What? Yeah, I think Vicky got it. Let me look up and see if anybody else. Did anybody else get why? Who? No, I know. Yeah, that's not the same as what they. Okay. I think Vicky got the answer. Vicky, I'll put a little extra charm in your package when we have our prize giveaway. So don't forget. You remind me. But I think she spelled it funny, but I think she knows what it is. When you put a male sheep in with the ewes, they put a belt on him that has a piece of chalk on it. So when he breeds the sheep, he leaves chalk on their back. And that's how you can tell if there's a good chance that ewe might be pregnant. And if for some reason you don't see any chalk on their back, then he's not finding her attractive enough. So now you know an interesting little fact, but this is belt they wear that has chalk, and it just, it just sticks wherever it touches. And that's how you can tell if they've been bred. Because that's important to know that they're bred the right time of year and exactly when you want them to. You don't want them being born too early. They can die during the cold weather. And you don't want them born too late because the mothers can die. Sheep prefer cool weather anyway. And so they need to have their babies when it's cool enough that it doesn't tax their bodies too much. And that's why you always shear a sheep when the warm weather starts to come in and let them be comfortable. So very good. Vicki Lemire knew that answer. Very, very good. Yes, yes, yes. Animal husbandry. Okay. I've got another. This is a funny one. In the cattle world, in the world of cattle, what is a lefty? Let's see if you know. In the cattle world, cows, steers, bulls, what is a lefty? I know I talk about anything. I mean, the world is a big, exciting world. Y'all are getting around the education. Very good. So Susan got this answer. It's a steer. But now, why is it called a lefty? Do you know? A steer is put in with the cows to let the farmer know if they're coming into heat. Exactly, Susan. What they do, even though he's been castrated, they move his apparatus to the left and tack it so he cannot breed, even though he cannot do the deed, even though he's sterile. Okay? And so what he is a frustrated thing that they keep with the cows, because you can't keep a bull with the cows unless you want them bred. I mean, they're too rough on those poor cows. So they keep this lefty, which is a steer that can't mate because it's tacked over, and he alerts the farmer when they come into heat, and then they'll take him out and bring the bull in. So now, isn't that interesting what you just learned? Yes, exactly, Susan. If he still had them. But anyway. So now, see, you come here to learn quilting and pin cushions and animal husbandry all in one place. Oh, I hope not. Oh, my God, I hope not. So anyway, so I just thought I would tell you what that's what you learn from a daughter who graduated with a degree in agriculture. So, and there's another one, but I've got to get the right name for. I'll have another quiz next week. This one won't be as racy, so it'll be more scientific. There we go. All right. Well, ladies, well, they have to have it tacked, so I can't do that. But anyway, what was I going to say? I'm going to get ready and go. And I think I'll get a little more sleep next time than 4.5 hours. I promise. And I can't wait. I have a new landscape that has been designed, and I can't wait to share it with you. This one's going to be easy and fun. Not as many pieces, not as much complications. Something you could knock off in an afternoon or two, at least in a weekend. Okay? So be looking for that. Yep, I can't wait. Kiwi is probably going to bite me pretty hard. Oh, yes, please. Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. I am changing our Yahoo site to Groups.io. I think that's Groups.io, because sadly, Yahoo is just not servicing the site. They're not going to accept files, photos, anything. So our special Yahoo group, not the live stream, but our special Yahoo group will be changing sometime in the next 2 weeks. And I'll make sure everybody knows, and we'll tell you on the live stream. So don't worry, we don't want to lose you. But we need something Yeah, and I will make sure I have all the instructions for you because we don't want to lose you. We will help you get through this, so don't worry. And it's supposed to be a very easy site to use, but it bothers me. It bothers me that we can't put our photos up anymore. I can't load files in there for you anymore. And they're just not even going to allow any files. And I understand they've kind of cut it loose. It had a great run, but they're done doing it. So I've gotten good reviews. People have written me and said, I've asked for help. What do you recommend? And it looks like Groups.io has gotten the most recommendations. So don't worry. We will move over there. We'll guide you through it. We're not gonna lose you. Yeah, I'm hoping everything that's in our current group, because it says you can move all your Yahoo stuff right over. But I need to pay attention and see how, I've never taken a computer class in my life. So this is big stuff for Deb. But anyway, I think my elephant's going to tell you goodbye. We've got to figure what to have for dinner. And I'm thinking it's Domino's tonight. I think we're all too tired. I mean, the 7 hours in the car was enough. Oh, and poor Mark, he was so good. When he left the Odenton area, which is up in Maryland, it was pouring rain. At times, we had less than 20 feet visibility. And it was weird because you're driving along and all of a sudden this huge ghost truck appears. And it would startle you. So anyway, y'all have a great week. I just couldn't miss y'all. I couldn't wait for another whole week to see you. But I'm going to get busy with some exciting new things. I know I've been busy with my retreat and planning this trip, but I can't wait to spend more time with you. And I'll get busy and get those patterns for free for our next landscape. So have a good week. Take good care of yourself. Yes, please say hi to Nikki and Diana. How is your son's knee doing? I hope he's working through. I hope he's working through the physical rehabilitation. But y'all are the best. Y'all are just the best. Do something for yourself because you need to take care of yourself so you can take care of others. So, y'all take good care. And don't forget, before Thanksgiving, it'll be the third week in November, we're going to have our next big prize-a-palooza. So take care. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for all your help. You are amazing. Diana, thank you for being today's lively fun because you were great. You were on, girlfriend. Good. I'm so glad, Diana, that he's doing well. That was a bad injury. Well, take care, and I'll tell you more about Russell. I just didn't want to bore people to tears today because I did sound like a grandmother, a proud grandmother. So y'all take good care. Have a great week. Come back for our next landscape. It's an easy one. All right, take care. Y'all are the best. Have a great week.